All right, hello and welcome. If you're an RF technician who's tired of chasing down that ghost in the machine, that elusive interference messing with your critical systems, then you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to stock your toolbox with some practical, field-proven strategies for RFI remediation. Let's get right into it. So just to give you some context, what you're watching is part 11 of a pretty deep 15-part series. It's all based on a comprehensive report from Virtualization Options LLC. So far, we've talked a lot about finding interference. Now we're zeroing in on how to actually fix it. We're going to tackle this in 4 key areas today, really building a complete, layered defense against RFI. We'll kick things off with the core concept, the remediation triangle. Then we'll dive into the hands-on stuff, interrupting the interference path, hardening your system, and finally, we'll cover some really clever operational strategies. Okay, first up, the remediation triangle. You've got to understand this because it is the fundamental principle behind literally every single fix we're going to talk about. Get this, and you're halfway to being an RFI master. And you know what? It's beautifully simple. For interference to even exist, you need 3 things. That's it. You need a source, which is the thing making all the noise. You need a susceptible receiver, the piece of gear that's getting hammered. And you need a coupling path that connects the two. Our entire job in remediation is just to break one link in that chain. We can quiet the source, block the path, or toughen up the receiver. It really is that straightforward. So let's start with that middle link, shall we? How do we interrupt that coupling path? This is where your physical, hands-on toolbox really comes into play. We're talking about the actual, tangible fixes you can go out and apply in the field right now. Your go-to physical tools are going to be shielding, filtering, grounding, and, of course, good old-fashioned cable management. I'm telling you, if you can master these 4 techniques, you will solve a huge percentage of the RFI headaches you run into day to day. Now, let's talk about shielding, because there's a really interesting two-way street thing happening here. We usually think of it as defense, right? Protecting our sensitive gear from all the junk flying around. But it's also about offense, containing noisy equipment so it can't radiate in the first place. But remember this, and if you remember nothing else, remember this. A shield is only as good as its weakest point. One tiny seam, a little hole, a poorly connected cable, and its effectiveness just plummets. And this picture shows you exactly where that matters. In a place like this, an industrial setting, you've got massive RFI sources, robotic welders, variable frequency drives. These things are screaming RF noise. Proper shielding on this kind of equipment is absolutely non-negotiable for keeping that noise boxed up and preventing it from wiping out your entire RF environment. Okay, our next tool is filtering. The best way to think about a filter is like a bouncer or a gatekeeper standing on your power and signal lines. It lets all the good signals, the VIPs, pass right through, but it blocks all that high-frequency noise that's trying to sneak in. This is your #1 weapon against conducted interference. And just like a club has different bouncers for different doors, you have different filters for different jobs. A low-pass filter? That's perfect for cleaning up noisy power lines. A bandpass filter protects a receiver from signals that are way out of its lane. A notch filter, well, that's your sniper. It takes out one single specific interfering frequency. And of course, the humble ferrite core, every tech's best friend. Just clip it on a cable and bam, you're knocking down that unwanted high-frequency noise. Next up, grounding. And let's be clear, proper RF grounding is so much more than just a safety checkbox. It's about creating a low-resistance superhighway for all those stray RF currents to travel on. It gives them an easy path to ground, preventing nasty RF voltages from building up and stopping those dreaded ground loops that can couple noise between all your systems. Okay, so we've covered the hands-on, physical tools. Now let's zoom out a bit. Let's look at the big picture. Hardening the entire system. These are the broader, more strategic adjustments you can make that just make your whole communications setup inherently tougher and more resilient to RFI from the get-go. 2 of the most powerful strategies you have here are frequency planning and antenna system design. Think of it like this. Frequency planning is about managing the invisible world, the spectrum itself. You're carefully assigning channels to keep users from stepping on each other's toes, avoiding things like co-channel interference. On the other hand, antenna system design is about managing the physical world, picking the right antenna, putting it in the right place, pointing it the right way, all to maximize the signal you want and ignore the noise you don't. One's a planning fix, the other's an engineering fix. Both are crucial. And here is a really cool, cutting-edge tool for your arsenal. Adaptive filtering. This is some seriously smart tech. Instead of just a fixed filter, An adaptive filter uses digital signal processing to actually learn the signature of the interference, and then it actively cancels it out in real time. It's an incredibly powerful way to deal with interference that's constantly changing or drifting around. All right, for our last section, let's talk about solutions that don't require you to touch a single piece of hardware. I'm talking about procedural, operational strategies, and you'd be surprised how often these can be the simplest and sometimes the most effective fixes you have. Sometimes the best tool you have isn't a tool at all. It's a change in process. I mean, think about it. Can you coordinate schedules with the folks making the noise? Can you set up quiet hours for your most critical communications? What about building in resilience through diversity? Using multiple frequencies or even different receiver sites. So if one path gets knocked out, another one is still crystal clear. And that really brings us to the most important point of this whole explainer. The absolute best RFI remediation isn't about finding one magic trick. It's not a silver bullet. It's about creating a defense in depth. It's about layering these strategies, the physical fixes, the system-level hardening, and the smart operational procedures to build a truly robust system that can handle whatever the noisy RF world throws at it. So I'll leave you with a question to chew on as you head back out into the field. Take a look at your own facility, at the challenges you face every day. Which one of these tools we've talked about, whether it's shielding, filtering, frequency planning, or even just simple scheduling, is the most powerful, but maybe the most overlooked weapon in your arsenal against RFI? Something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.